That's that, you guys. That's that. We've booked ourselves a spot in this year's Club World Cup final, courtesy of a goal from Romelu Lukaku, which came from very fortunate circumstances. But I guess, that goal kind of reflected our performance throughout. For me, this was a very subpar performance. This wasn't that good. The second half dip was very surprising. Was that maybe due to Jorginho going off, us losing the midfield battle? Maybe, I'm not too sure. I think actually the reason why we struggled in the second half even more was because Hilal was starting to really push their fullbacks up very high. I think that as the game was going on, the work rate from like a Ziyech, for example, wasn't as good. They weren't stopping the runs into our half. And that was how they were able to create more overloads down our flanks. We saw Marcos Alonso, Azpilicueta having a very difficult time getting outmanned in those wide areas. And, with Jardim, we've seen what this guy's done with Monaco. He really loves to utilise the flanks and width in his teams. And, I have to say, credit to Al Hilal. I definitely thought they would be a good team. I think they proved that. They were very competitive, showed some good football, some good threat. And they made things very difficult. And as I'm saying, I don't think we're at that footballing level. Even though we have the top players, but as like a proper team, we're not on that level where we can just cakewalk past any team. We have to play well if we want to win this cup. And now we've booked a spot in the final against Palmeiras. And this will be a team that will show us absolutely zero respect. They're aggressive, they're dirty, they're very dangerous on the counter-attack already. The manager, before this game even started, was already getting the smack talk going, saying, listen, Chelsea, we're ready. We feel we can beat you. He's already assumed that we'll be playing against them in the final. So they are prepared. They already went into this tournament knowing that they'd be playing us in the final. And after seeing this performance, you guys, I definitely feel like we need to wake up a lot. I guess maybe without having the presence of Tuchel with the squads and the team right now, we know what this guy's like on the touchline. He's very animated, he's very angry. If players aren't doing X, Y, Z, he's letting them know, get your ass back, do this, do that. You're not doing things right. Now you constantly see how frustrated Tuchel is on the sidelines, and I guess not having that type of discourse from the touchline, maybe this is why some performance levels do get a little bit complacent. But regardless, you guys, we have booked ourselves a spot in the final. Really, we won the game in the first half. Again, that goal, it wasn't really the most spectacular goal. And if anything, maybe it reflected Al Hilal kind of giving us the win in that sense. Of course, El Shani, their left back, the ball deflected off him from a cross from Kai Havertz, who showed good perseverance down the flanks. However, pretty poor defending. And I guess Lukaku was in the right area at the right time to seal the goal. And, being in that position, all he had to do was just literally put some power behind the shot. I guess with how all eyes were on him, with all the pressure he's been facing as well, he had to get at least one goal in this tournament. And for me, I'm hoping that, and I always kind of assumed that he would be the guy to, give us that edge when it comes to, lifting the cup. Because I think he has the best goal threat out of anyone. And today, irrespective of all the criticism made against him, I thought he was one of our most dangerous offensive players. I thought he showed some good link-up play, some good, very nice cushion headers, especially to find Hakim Ziyech. He showed some good runs at times too. As per though, this lack of offensive cohesion seems to affect us all. And I found it quite interesting that, we played a front three that are all left-footed players. There was no balance in terms of a player having a right foot to bring like a different angle in the pass or in the shot. And there were a few times when these guys were playing passes to each other's, stronger foot. Where there were a lot of like sloppy pieces of control, uncharacteristic like overhit passes, etc., etc. It wasn't that fluid. It wasn't that good, in my opinion. Regardless, I thought Lukaku was probably the most effective one, which isn't saying that much. I thought Havertz was a little bit disappointing in this game today. Yeah, he showed some good perseverance, forced the opportunity for the first goal, but at times, other than like this really incredible piece of play in the start of the second half, he went on a nice run, accelerating, bursting into the space. He hit the ball around his opponent, ran onto the pass, and he did this very nice piece of skill where he hit the post. And if you actually watch the replays, he saw the dummy that he was going to play the pass to Lukaku, which fooled the goalkeeper. And in fact, he was going for that little chip to the near post like the entire time. But that is what Kai can do. Do we necessarily see that in abundance consistently? Absolutely not. Do I feel like down the left-hand side he's slightly wasted a bit at times? Definitely, yes, I do. And I think it still brings up these eternal questions of what is this guy's best position? And how are we going to actually see him grow and grow accustomed to like a key role in this team? I'm not too sure. I mean, of course, he hasn't been playing as consistently recently. I think that was definitely reflected in the performance. Yeah, he still showed good energy levels at least. But in terms of the quality, you know, there were a few times when, you know, the passes are going backwards or, you know, he's getting out-muscled with the ball a bit too easily. So I need to see more from Kai in this respect. But to be honest, I'm always going to say that... are we necessarily using these guys the best? I think there was only like 3 occasions in this entire game where Lukaku and Kai linked up with each other. You know, like Lukaku, ideally you want someone close to him. I thought that guy would be Kai, but then when Kai is on the left-hand side, Lukaku is like, what, having to play cutback passes to one of the midfield players. I'm not too sure, you guys. It wasn't as effective for me offensively, and you know, recently our offensive performances have not been great. Against Plymouth, we struggled. We had to go all the way to extra time to just be able to, you know, out-intensity them in the end to make that 2-1 to win the game. And I'm always going to say, if we want to go to the next level, we need to sort out the attack. We need to sort them out. It was interesting using the wing-back system today for sure. I definitely feel like it gave us a tactical advantage in the first half, but in the second half, when, you know, Al Hilal started to play with more agency, when they started to play a lot more aggressively, and started to find the dangerous balls in behind our wing backs, especially Marega. Marega was constantly making good runs in behind Marcus Alonso. Alonso was, yeah, he had to get subbed off for Sarr in the end because he was starting to look quite poor, in my opinion. I think I saw someone on Twitter, man, saying that this guy's getting skinned from continent to continent, which is pretty funny, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, we all saw that time when he got absolutely skinned from that little like Ronaldo chop by their right back from Al Hilal. You know, like when your wing backs like the key guys in the system, they need to be better. They need to be strong in these areas because teams will roast them and take advantage. And the minute you take the wing backs out of the game, and it means that the centre backs have to leave their positions and they're forced out wide. And that was when Al Hilal were finding good opportunities. You know, Gallo finding good spaces between the lines. You know, Marega really stretching us in behind as well too. You know, Desari and a few of these guys showing some good quality between the lines as well. And I don't know, I just thought that second half was really poor. We ended the first half having way more shots on target, way more threat, way more danger. And by the end of the final whistle, literally everything was even. That tells you just how much Al Hilal came back in the second half, and that's how we went to sleep. I think in the end, the big tactical thing which allowed us to kind of mitigate some of the threat that Al Hilal was posing was when Ziyech came off for Mason Mount. I think Mount's intensity levels was very important because it stopped their fullback and El Shani bombing forwards. By stopping that run forward, it meant that the winger couldn't link up with no one, he was isolated. And then for the final like 10 minutes of that game, we were able to just like control the game finally. We didn't have much threat. We didn't look too amazing, but at least we were able to slow the play down, waste time, control the ball, and frustrate Al Hilal, who was starting to get a little bit feisty, a little bit rough near the end. But you know, regardless, this is how we booked our spot in this year's final. Let's hope that we see a ton more from the team. I wonder if a back 3 system would be the way forward again. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it had its benefits in the first half in particular. You know, we really stopped Al Hilal playing down the flanks, and when we were attacking them, we was constantly finding like Azpilicueta and Alonso as the 3 men out wide. But then, you know, once the wing back started to get targeted a bit more, you know, it felt like our midfield control just went. Would I say it's because Jorginho left? Absolutely not. But as I always say, when you have a wing-back system, these guys essentially act as like wide midfield players. So if you've got 2 of these guys who aren't in line with the rest of your midfields, how are guys like Cover and the rest going to be able to do anything? Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, before I end things, I want to just say, give like a quick shout out to some good performances. I thought Cover was probably our best player in the game today. Tenacious in the tackle. You're constantly looking to kickstart defense into attack, receiving many passes from the centre backs, driving forwards. It was his run forwards that created the first goal when he just burst forwards, played the pass into Kai Havertz, who persevered to just force that error to make the first goal. And other than that, our defense was good, as they always are, playing a back 3. They're like our key standout players, which is mad. I thought Christensen looked good, Silva, Rudiger was very composed, very experienced, quite easy for him. But I just feel like when we use this wing-back system, the offense will never always be as on point. They're never going to be as key. And they're always going to look a little bit sloppy at times. Again, this is like another different offensive lineup. I don't think I've seen a lineup of like Ziyech, Havertz, and Lukaku this entire season, to be honest. Is this like the 14th different combination from Tuchel? I'm not too sure. But I wonder if we do persist with using a wing-back system again against Palmeiras, where I don't know, I feel like we were showing a bit more like creative threat at least, using a 4-1-4-1 or like 4-3-3, whatever you want to call it. But regardless, we have a few more days now until the final this Saturday, and let's hope that we're able to avenge our defeat against Corinthians 10 years ago and lift the trophy come Saturday. So you guys, now I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Of course, you'll find my latest news daily video I released today. And of course, if you guys looking to cop any new Chelsea merchandise, of course, you'll find all the links below in the description. I'm EFC, this is Blue Lions CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.